Hi, it's Cards by Rachel with a card making tutorial for the stamp stop. So today I first want to show you a few cards that I had already made. This one I used a die cut and some extra dies to create some dimension. There's a hot foil on the back and I popped this part of the frame up, see? And on the back I did the pokeball and again the same hot foil I used in here, but then I realized this looks very good, but you have this little bit to write a message, but hey. So for this one, I used a holographic foil, which doesn't need a hot foil machine. I'll show it in the video as well. Thought it would be a very fun option for people who don't have a hot foil machine. So yeah, I kept this one a little bit more simple, again with the popped up frame, but I kept this one white, so you have more space to write a message. This one I kept flat, just to show a bit of difference. And again, with some added die cuts to, you know, fill in the scene. And again, kept it white. So today, we'll be using this one, which I already colored. And we'll be using another one that is not colored yet. And for this one, we will actually use the frame in white and do some ink blending, because that's another way you can create a scene, of course. And the next one we will do in a shaker form. So we have die cuts popped up, die cuts flat, a more simple one popped up. We'll do an ink blend one, and now we'll do a shaker one. So I think that covers a lot of ways to use this die. So for all of these, I use this trading card die, and it comes with a pokeball. You can create 2 die pieces. For the fire type, I used like this camping builder die that has the campfire. We have used the Master Trainer set. It's a really big set, as you can see. We have used these Ketchum Cutie dies. So I'm gonna start with the card that has the ink blending on it, because I am gonna use some paste through a stencil for this one. And this way I figured it could dry while we work on our shaker one. Here you can see me using some antique linen. I'm not doing it straight. I kind of want a beach slash ocean vibe for this card, since we will be using the water type animal. So I'm using antique linen and tea dye to create my beach. And then we'll use tumble glass, broken china, and mermaid lagoon for our ocean. And I'm just making sure it has a nice blend. I'm using my grip mat of a flower to hold everything in place there. So yeah, I made 5 of these now in a lot of different ways. So I thought it would be fun to, you know, show the ones I already did off camera in the beginning of the video, so you can really see the versatility of this die. I also, you can see it on my Instagram page, made one with the Way to Go stamp set actually, so in a whole different theme. And in our Facebook group, Elina used it with the Sponge-tastic stamp set, and the fun thing is she turned it around, so she made it horizontal instead of vertical, so landscape instead of portrait. So that's always also an option. Here I just splattered some water on this panel and then just dabbed it off with a clean paper towel. I always love the texture that gives. I actually put in a Mama Elephant stamp set called Handmade Labels for the word card number and a little heart in that circle area. Thought that would be a very cute combination. I use it for all my cards like this. Only for the fire type I used like this little flame instead of the heart, but hey, here I'm just laying it out. I decided on the brushed silver cardstock to be the back. We also have it available in the Webshop. I will link it down below. Here you can see I used a bubble stencil from Create a Smile and just laid out my animal just to see where I want it to go. But I do not want the paste to go over my text. So I'm just gonna use a piece of tape to cover up the word card number and to cover up that little heart. I'm using one of my favorite type of paste. It's solar paste from Ranger. And this is Beluga. It has like a very slight blue undertone. And I'm just gonna apply that well onto the background, and I just think that gives a lot of shine and texture. You could always, if you don't have paste, use like a darker blue or something to go over it and still get the fun effect of the bubbles, or another color of paste, you know, just see what you have. Or maybe you have bubble die cuts, that could also be a great touch to it. So just see what you have. Off camera, I made sure to run a very warm like bucket of water, basically, with a little bit of hand soap, so I can quickly put my stencil, my spatula, and my grip mat in there, because you do not want that paste to dry. You want to get it off straight away. The fun part about this training die is that you also have pieces to decorate your back, or you can use them at the front. So here we have that red, black and white ball, and I'm just gonna, I got the main circle from white, and then the decorating the half circle from red, and then this piece from a glittery black, and then I went to look for the inside white piece. As you can see, I couldn't find it, and off camera I did find it, so we are gonna attach that in the middle here. And you can really go to town with these backgrounds. For these I'm just putting the ball on, but for the green animal I did do a pretty hot foil background. You can just add a post-it note or something to your cards to make sure you still have space to write. Here I'm showing you these matching stencils that we have, and they fit amazing on that inside piece. They also fit amazing on A2C cards, by the way. For people who love making A2Cs, these are great stencils for that as well. I'm just, because my grip mat is still drying from our paste, I'm just gonna use some tape to secure my stencil in place. And I'm gonna use the Stress ink in Black Suit to create this like electricity lines. I thought it would be very cute for the electric mouse we are gonna use. I used yellow for all the back panels, but I'm gonna use inks to like make it last flat. Here you can see me using dried marigold just around the edges. Make sure your stamped words are nice and dry before you do this, because otherwise you get smearing of your black ink. That will be a shame. And I know this because it happened to me before. Then for our main yellow back panel, I found like a little bit of a black touch would be nice, but I didn't want to make it fully black. So I just decided to ink it up with what's left on my ink blending brush there. And here you can see me just gonna lay out the card basically. I always like to do that before I attach stuff, just to see you know, what I want to go where. Do I need to add other elements? And I used an ABC stamp from Lanvin to write the word tackle, and 20. You can you know, use any ABC stamp you may have and any words you would like. I just went for these on all of them because I find these sort of stamps so fiddly to use. So I didn't want to change up the words constantly, but you definitely could. But yeah, I just made it easy for myself. I used tackle 20 on all my cards. And now I'm going to show you that, I believe, at least. Yeah, that holographic foil. It has a backing piece paper that you can just get off. I use some tweezers, and then I just like to pull it back a little bit, line it up, and then pull back the rest. I find that more easy than taking off the whole backing paper straight away. And as you can see, it is transparent, so you can still see what you did on the background, and no hot foil needed. You can just run it through your die cut machine or cut it into the right shape, whatever you want. And I just love this. Later on, I realized you could also just put this piece of holographic paper onto your yellow paper in this case, and then die cut it, which probably would make it a lot easier to do. But hey, hindsight knowledge, you guys. But look at that, it adds such a nice shine to your project. For these type of cards, I feel like it's really fun, but I can imagine it being fun on a lot of other projects as well. So yeah, if you don't have a hot foil machine, I will link them down below. I grabbed them off Amazon. You can always shop around for more, but the one I got some like we're using now, some stars and some like clear ones, and they're not expensive at all. But yeah, you can always check somewhere else. But in case you want the same ones, I will link them down below. They come in A4 sheets. I attached some double-sided tape all around the panel there because we will be making this one into a shaker. I always love a good shaker, you guys. I just find them so fun. And the sound they make when you shake them is very, very satisfying, if you ask me. And here I'm just going to attach a piece of acetate. What is overhanging, I will just, cut away with my scissors. Look at that foil. Okay, I'm very happy. And I then started attaching double-sided tape on the back, which is not needed in this case. There's two ways to make a shaker. You could layer this frame like 6 or 7 times to make it high enough. Then you will not need double-sided or not double-sided foam tape, sorry. But I am gonna put these in order. So I always make it like this thing, like if I ship it in an envelope, I do the stacked layers of cardstock because I find them a bit more secure. Basically, it stays better together. Here you can I show the normal foam tape we sell and the pear blossom foam tape we sell. The pear blossom foam tape is the double the height, and it's meant to go for the lights, of course, but it works great for shakers. It's the exact height you need to make a nice and full shaker, and it's repositionable for 30 minutes. So here I'm just showing how I got that to size for the small pieces, by the way. So yeah, I do use that pear blossom press World's Best foam tape when making cards with lights, but also when I make shakers and I don't ship in an envelope, I use that tape because it has the exact height. If you have the normal tape, you can just do a double layer of tape. I would definitely suggest that to get a nice height, but this makes it more easy. Plus, I really like the repositional aspect of it because I can never align things straight, and this way, if I do it wrong and take it off, then there's no damage to my card. Here I'm just gonna pull off that bit, and I am gonna use some glue just to get some wiggle room because we all know I'm not the best person to get things straight. I hate that quality of myself, but I try my best, you guys, but there's always a little bit off. Okay, here we just gonna attach that down. And oh, the shaker bits and the hot foil, or well, not hot foil, the holographic foil is just looking so good. I love this. The holo cards were always my favorite ones. So I think that is good. Here you can see me layer on the die cut and the colored ball. And all there's left to do basically to finish this card is color in this cute electric mouse. I'm using my Ohuhu markers today, and you can see the numbers on the caps there, the colors basically. I thought I would show the coloring of this electric mouse because I feel like it's a lot of people's favorites. For me, it's actually the one in the eggshell. I think it's so adorable. My absolute favorite one isn't on this die set. It's the fox, which, it's so cute. It is on the stamp set. It's on the I Chew You or the Catch 'em Cuties one. I'm not sure. One of them. Or maybe on both. I think it's on both, actually. So, I definitely want to make one of these cards with that one as well. In the future, it's just so cute. But, for now, I wanted to focus on the newer products today. I'm just doing this in 2 parts, the coloring, because it's quite a big image and I don't want my ink to get dry and be difficult to blend. So that's why I divided it up. At first, these dies do kind of seem intimidating to color, I feel, but it's actually really easy because you don't have black lines you need to stay inside of. So you can get a little bit messy, which actually makes it quite easy to color them in. You could even do this one out of like yellow cardstock and then add some shading with your markers or your inks and just go over it with the black, because the black will take on a yellow cardstock anyway. So if you want to make it a bit more easy, you could even do that. But they are really nice to color because there are no lights to stay in, which does look really good. Here I'm showing for the red, I used the R3. And then just put it on some, white cardstock, colored it in. I did that with like red, pink, and black, just to cover up the eyes, which we'll do in black, the nose in pink, and the mouth I will do in that red color. So yeah, I feel like that just adds a nice touch if you do it out of your markers as well, because you colored your mouse in with your markers as well. You could always use just colored cardstock, of course, but I just like the consistency of the look going all the way through, basically. And then we'll just almost finish up this cutie, apart from the fact I'm gonna add my pencils over it. Like if you do not use pencils over your markers, you can obviously skip this step. I'm using my Prismacolor markers, and I'm just using a dark and a bit of lighter red to go inside the mouth. And I'm using a black pencil to highlight, or not highlight, to shade the black parts of our little mouse here. And now for the yellow, I'm actually using like this yellow, orange, and a yellow marker to go over it. Here you can see me adding a little bit of black to it still, because the anime also has some black on it still from this cute electric rice. So yeah, we're just gonna sort of replicate that. You could even add some of the iconic red cheeks, and I totally actually forgot to do that. Now I'm talking about it, I really want to add those, so I'll do that off camera. So on my pictures and on the video it will look without red cheeks, but on my photos on Instagram it will have red cheeks. Just a heads up, but I really need to add those red cheeks. I'm not sure how I forgot, because it's really iconic, isn't it? Oh well, anyway, you could add red cheeks. You could also just leave them off. Apparently it's not that noticeable as I thought, because at least I didn't notice it at first. Sometimes with voiceovers you're like, oh wait, I did not see that before. Here I'm just using a blender pencil to, shade out those lines, so they are not as harsh as they used to be. That always helps when you do large areas, I feel. Here is our cute shaker again, and the only thing left for this card is to attach them. You could use foam, but I feel like because it already has some height, because it's a shaker, I'm just gonna use my liquid glue. I'm just gonna hold it down for a bit to make sure it's nice and secure, and then we'll add the ball on the left hand side. It will overlap a bit on our mouse, but I feel like that is totally fine. And that will be it for this card, apart from white highlight. Oh yeah, white highlights indeed. Even added them, like I made cheeks with the highlights. Okay, well, never mind, you guys, I will add them later. And actually I'm gonna use some glossy accents to put inside the eyes and the little nose. I love that touch, and I went back to the cards I already made off camera and edited to those as well, because I love a bit of that like glow. For now, it is a clear liquid if you have never used it, and once it's dry it will just give a shine to those areas, which I love. So that is that card, and now I'm using that tackle and 20 again to stencil over this one. I wasn't sure you could ink over a paste. I never tried it, but it works. At least with my archival ink it works. I'm not sure if it would work with Memento or something, but for my sentiments I tend to use archival because it gives really crisp images. It stains your ink, so your stamp. So if you don't like that, don't use it. Here I just layered in that inside piece before attaching the frame, which I could have done with the shaker as well. Just inlay that piece and then put the acetate on the frame, but we made it work. Here I'm just trying to get this lined up again, which didn't happen, so then I took it off and realigned it. I mean, it's as straight as I can get it. Anyway, look at that solar paste. I just love it. The only thing I dislike about like these foils, if it's the holographic foil or the hot foils or these paste, on pictures they just don't show as much. Okay, well, that was it, you guys. Here you can see a video of all the cards together using the different techniques. I hope you liked to see all those different ones and just kind of pick out your favorite. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Bye!